Hey everyone, and welcome to Isms by Josie. Today we're going to be doing another crochet kit that I got from Five Below. For my returning subscribers, thank you so much for tuning in. And for my new viewers, please consider subscribing, share, hit that like button, leave a comment below, and click on that notification bell for future videos. So today, you guys, we have a crochet kit from Five Below. This one I was shocked to see because I've only been doing the itty bitty knit kits, and I was also shocked with the other smaller crochet kits. But anyway, this one is the cool crochet pouch. This is called Petal Power, and let me see who this is done by, because this is going to be my first one. This was a viewer request. Oh, and this is by Bright Stripes. So this will be interesting to see, because this will be the first Bright Stripes crochet kit that I've ever done with them. I think I've only done the knit kits with them. Alright, so if you have a request, leave a comment below. I do have a running list, so it'll just have to wait in line. If you don't want to wait for me to find the kit, because I have to find it first before I can add it to my list, go ahead and send me clear images of the instructions, and I'll try to help you out. So in this kit we have the instructional booklet, a crochet hook, and a few spools of yarn. I don't see any stitch markers. I think that would be a really good thing to have. As you know, I stand by my stitch markers. But yeah, let's just open this, because I want to see what this stuff looks like. So this video is pretty much a supplement to the kit. If you want to get the kit, go ahead and get it at your local Five Below. You could also try their website. I've never looked for these ones on their website, so I don't know if it's there. But I can't show any instructions or anything into detail. I'm only going to teach you how to do stitches 3 times, step by step, and then I'll explain what the line instructions mean and break it down for you. But otherwise, I cannot, mention any specifics with the instructions. And if you are a viewer, I highly recommend that you don't share that as well, just to protect yourself from, giving away other people's copyrighted work. Here's the booklet, and here is the hook. The hook, it doesn't even say what size, but this is a big one. I wouldn't be surprised if this is like a 6mm or higher. I'm not sure. Anyway, alright, so that is that. And this is going to be a small pouch, because this doesn't look like a lot of yarn. Alright, so for this instructional booklet, it's like the same with the knit kits. It actually shows photographic images, so this might actually be more helpful than the illustrative. Okay. And it teaches you every possible stitch possibly. I think that's in this booklet. All right, let me decipher this now. Looks like it's going to be made up of 5 squares maybe. And these are like granny squares. I don't know why they call it granny, but it's just made of a bunch of blocks, so it makes life kind of easier if you're the type like myself that can't focus on one project for a very long time. I like to do little ones. Okay, so let us begin with the squares. Alright, we're gonna go straight into it. So how about that? Just to prep these, I love these large spools. They're really good at pulling out the yarn that you need. You can get the outside yarn fairly easy. I think it might be something like this. Yeah. Now this is easy to pull. However, you're going to have to remove the band, and when you pull it, it's going to roll around, and that's never fun. So, a little tip or trick. is to pull it from the inside, and sometimes it's not as easily visible as the outside piece. Oh, they give you a stitch marker. Oh no, it's just a sewing needle. I was so surprised. Needlessly. Okay, so I'm not sure where this other piece is, but what I'm gonna do is just grab like a couple of strands, right? And you might pull out a chunk, you might not pull out a chunk, but the idea is to pull out a bit and to hopefully get the other end. Now if you pull out the chunk, so since I did this, more likely I'm holding the other end. You're going to use it up anyway, but moving forward, when you pull this yarn, you're just pulling it and it's not rolling around. You just need to put like a little paperweight on here. So that's the idea, which is great because you don't need something rolling around, especially if you have pets that are very playful. So there's that. And then you just got to find the end, which is right here. But I don't want to like tangle it by accident, so I'm just going to unravel it backwards this way. And I'm just setting this up. I don't know what, I think we're using yellow first, to be honest. But you just want to get this all prepped and ready so it's good to go. So here's the end, you could set that aside. Same thing with the white. Let's do the same thing with the white. Here's the end, easily available right there. But I'm going to actually go in here and try to find the other end. Okay, oh, and it was, I guess it was right there, whatever. If you need to speed up or slow down the video, go ahead and click on the gear button in the corner. There's playback options to go fast or slow. If you don't need to hear me talking, you can lower the volume on your device and click on the CC closed caption button. And then for these, there's not much help to it. You have to work with what they give you. So just take this off. Okay. And then what I like to do is do a split it in the middle. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then find the inside. So this looks like it's on the outside of that, whatever they did here. It's easier to grab take from the inside. And then I'm going to put this, I have this like little cylinder thing. And that way you can just grab your yarn from here. But we're going to work with the yellow. So let's do this. Okay. We're going to do the, oh wow. We're going to do the magic ring. So to do this, you want to wrap the yarn 3 times around your finger with a little bit of overage so you can put your middle finger right on top. And then from here you can straighten out your strands, tighten them up if you need to. But we're going to grab our hook and we're going to slip this under the strands. Wow, this is a big hook. Alright, so we're going to pull this back out and you're going to drag this strand underneath these two. So do that now. And then we're going to yarn over, which is pretty much putting this feeder yarn over the hook, like that. So from here, we're going to pull this strand through the loop, and then we're good to go. So let go of your middle finger, slide this off your index. All right, so that was my way of doing the magic ring. You know, I say this all the time. I'm going to do things the way that I know how, because there are so many ways to go about this. You know, there's never one way. It's whatever's comfortable for you. So if you want to follow the booklet, follow the booklet. I don't know if I'm doing things exactly like the booklet, probably not. So I'm just going to do it this way. All right. Now I'm going to, round 1 introduces half double crochet stitches, which is actually one of my favorite stitches in crocheting. And I'm going to show you how to do that. So stick your hook into the magic rings, we're going to yarn over, and then we're going to pull up a loop so that we have, oh, dang. Alright, so for round 1, it's introducing a half double crochet stitch, which is one of my favorite stitches in crochet. So let me show you how to do it. You're going to yarn over, and then you're going to stick your hook into the magic ring. Oops, both. Alright, then we're going to yarn over, and you're going to pull up a loop. So now you have 3 loops on your hook. Then we're going to yarn over, and you're going to pull through all 3 loops. And that's a half double crochet stitch. So looking at it sideways, you can see that you have your front loop and your back loop. Looking at it from the top, you can see that there's like a braid with a loop on each side. So let's do another one. Stick your hook into the magic ring. Oh wait, first yarn over, stick your hook into the magic ring. Then we're going to yarn over and pull up a loop so that we have 3 loops on our hook. Then we're going to yarn over, and you're going to pull through all 3 loops. So here's our second half double crochet stitch, and we have the front loop, the back loop. If we look on top, you can see that a braid is forming. Loop on this side, loop on that side. Alright. One more time with you guys. You want to stick your hook into the magic ring. Oh wait, I keep forgetting. Yarn over, put your hook into the magic ring, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops. All of the crochet videos that I've done mostly use single crochet, so I'm in single crochet mode, but this is half double crochet. Looking at it sideways, you can see the front loop, back loop, look on top, and you can see a braid forming. There's a loop on this side and a loop on this side. Alright, so rewind this video as many times as you need until you get all of the half double crochet stitches needed for round 1. I'm going to go ahead and complete the rest. Alright, once you've completed all your half double crochet stitches, you want to go ahead and just double check your counts to make sure you have the exact number of stitches for the round. And then I'm going to show you how to close your magic ring. So take your feeder yarn, you can use your middle finger just to keep it out of the way. You want to hold the bottom stitches here very gently, not too tight, because then you won't be able to pull any of this. But we have this excess piece and we have 2 loops here. So what we want to do is pull the excess piece and find out which loop is going to go inside the ring first. So slowly pull on this excess piece, and then stop once you see one of the loops moving. All right, so this one in here is has moved into the ring. So what we're going to do is pull this lower half out, not up here, down here. So that loop, pull the bottom part out. And as you're doing that, the other loop will start going in. And so that's what you need to close this. So now keep pulling until the other loop is completely gone into the magic ring. Now you might still have a little hole. Let's fix that. So pull this excess piece and then make this loop disappear. And it might, that hole might get smaller, but to make sure to eliminate, because there's still a little hole there, we're going to pull it in the opposite direction, 45 degrees out, and you're going to feel a little movement, not much movement, but just a little to close off your magic ring. And then that's it. We can move on to round 2. So for round 2, we are going to first do a chain. So let me show you what that looks like. The chain is one of the super ultra basics stitches in crochet. And all it is a yarn over. Oh, wait, we're not done yet. Okay, this one actually wants you to do a slip stitch. That's good because I like that. But let me go grab my stitch markers. A lot of kits now don't do the slip. They make you go in a spiral, and I don't like it, but this one doesn't. So what we're going to do is we are going to do our slip stitch. And so again, count the number of stitches you need for round 1. Right, and then you want to stick your hook into that last stitch. Okay, and in case you're wondering, I counted from the hook. It's always easier to count from the hook out. And then I put my hook into the last stitch of that round. And to do a slip stitch, we're going to yarn over, and you're going to pull through everything off your hook. So through the stitch that you put your hook through, and then through this loop here, and then you pretty much closed off the round. Okay, so now I'm going to take my stitch marker. You should definitely invest in these. I've collected these over the kits because I'm finding that the new kits don't come with them anymore. It's just a little piece, you know, but the more the merrier, so try to get a pack of a lot. But I'm going to slip this just under those loops, the front and back loops. And I want to make sure that I'm not splitting them in half. And you can tell that by pulling on the marker. If you see that it's clear, then you're good to go. And then you can close this. This is going to help us keep track of our stitch count and keep track of what round you are, depending on how many of them you leave on here. For me at the moment, I don't need to keep track of the round. I just want these to keep track of my stitches. Okay, so now we can move on to round 2, and we're going to do one of the basic stitches in crocheting. The chain stitch all is just yarning over and pulling through the loop, and that's your chain stitch. You have your braid looking thing, so there's a loop on this side, a loop on this side. If you turn it on its back, there's even a back loop here. Okay, so now we're going to get into single crochet stitches. Okay, and I'm going to show you how to do those. So I'm just going to count backwards again the number of stitches just to make sure I know where I'm putting my next stitch. Okay, so put your hook into the next stitch here. We're going to yarn over and pull up a loop so that we have 2 loops. Then we're going to yarn over and pull through those 2 loops. And that's a single crochet stitch. You look at it from the side. Here's the front loop, here's the back loop. Look at it on top. You have a loop on this side, loop on that side. But you can tell that this single crochet stitch is probably half the size of a half double crochet stitch. So let's do another one. Stick your hook into the next stitch. We're going underneath that braid there. We're going to yarn over and pull up a loop so that we have 2 loops. Then we're going to yarn over and pull through those 2 loops. So we have another single crochet stitch, front loop, back loop. Look at it on top. You still see that braiding happening with the loop on this side, loop on that side. One more time with you guys. Stick your hook into the next stitch. We're going to yarn over and pull up a loop. So you have 2 loops. Yarn over and pull through all loops off your hook. And so we have 3 single crochet stitches. We have a front loop and a back loop. Turn it on top and you can see this braid here, a loop on this side, loop on that side. All right, so now we're just going to continue the rest of this round, and all it is a bunch of single crochet stitches. So rewind this part here as many times as you need until you feel comfortable doing the rest on your own, but I'm going to go ahead and finish this round. And then we'll come back in and I'll show you how to do a slip stitch again. So it seems like each round is going to be doing a slip stitch. I have to get my mind out of amigurumi. This channel does a lot of amigurumi, and it works in these spirals, single crochets and spirals and granny squares. I'm forgetting, after each round it does close off. You close off each round so that it's separate. It doesn't spiral. So after each round, as a beginner, you always want to count your stitches twice to make sure you have the right counts. Actually, I'm going to do that right now. All right. So from here, we have to do a slip stitch. So count the number of stitches required for this round. It's in the parentheses at the end. And you want to stick your hook at that last stitch. And we're going to do a slip stitch again. So basically yarn over and pull through all loops off your hook, and that's a slip stitch. So if you do have a stitch marker in here, you can leave it and mark it as round 1. And you can just grab another marker. If you're like me and you don't really need it right now, you can just replace this stitch marker to the last stitch of this round we just finished. Just under the braid. Make sure you don't pierce the yarn. All right. Okay, before I finish this off with the slip stitch, we are going to be changing to white for the 3rd round. So I'm going to show you how to do that very cleanly. So take your crochet hook and make this loop to be really long. This is going to keep your stitch from unraveling. Then I'm going to go grab the white, and I'm going to show you how to cast on with the slip knot. Where is this other end? Didn't I find it? Oh, it's sitting underneath the yellow. Okay. So we're going to cast on with the slip knot. What you want to do is take your ring, pinky, and thumb and hold one end. Then you're going to take your index and middle finger and hold the other. We're going to take our crochet hook and lie it perpendicular to the yarn. Then you're going to go down, out, and around and create this loop around your hook. You can slide your hook up and down freely. We're going to slide it down towards the thumb. And where it crosses, take your middle finger on your right hand and just hold it where it crosses so that we can let go of our left, because we need to gather up some feeder yarn. All right, so once we're here, repinch the end to as low as you possibly can go. Then slide your hook again towards your thumb. Where it crosses, just pinch it with your middle finger. That way you can no longer slide your hook up and down. Now we're going to do a yarn over. and we're going to pull this strand through the loop like that. So now I'm going to overhand my hook. I'm going to re-pinch this end, and now I have this knot, and I'm going to push it towards my thumb. While I'm pushing it, the knot is going to get smaller, and you want to keep pushing it until you cannot anymore because your thumb's in the way, or if it gets too tight and you can't push it any longer. What we're doing is minimizing the amount of waste of our yarn, and I think I like this. I only made this much waste. So from here, grab that excess piece and pull it out just a little bit more, not too much. We just want to make this knot nice and snug. So what I'm going to do now is take the knot and slide it up towards the hook. Alright, but you want to leave room because we're going to take this loop off the hook and set it aside for now. So now I'm going to go in and grab my project again. I'm going to find that stitch that I pulled out, stick my hook back in it, and just to tighten it up again, I'm going to take the feeder yarn and pull it. Alright, from here, just make sure you have the right count for the round. Count the number of stitches starting from the hook, and then stick your hook into that last stitch. Alright, for the slip stitch, actually, you're not going to need yellow, sorry. We're going to slip on the white. So slip on the white and then gather up some feeder yarn. We're going to pull the white loop through these two loops to do our slip stitch. So now we have a nice clean transition from yellow to white. You can take this stitch marker and place it under the last stitch we made, and then we can do round 3. But before that, I'm just going to go ahead here. We're not going to use yellow again for this square. So cut about 1 inch or so. And we are going to tie this around the white 2 times. Not too tight, but just enough to secure the yellow so you don't lose any stitches. Okay. So now for round 3, we have to chain. We have to do some chains. Okay, so make your chains. Again, it's just yarning over and pulling through the loop. Yarning over and pulling through the loop. All right, so you have these stitches here. Each stitch has a loop on one side, a loop on the other, and you look at it behind, there are loops in the back. Okay. So now the next steps are, we're going to do a treble. I almost mentioned, I used to be in the band. We're talking about high school, so I was going to say treble clef. What? We're doing a triple crochet stitch. So let me show you how to do that. All right, we're going to yarn over twice. Once, twice. Then we're going to stick our hook into the same stitch that we just did the chains in. So I don't know if you can see it. We did a slip stitch, so make sure you get it into this one here, as well as the stitch that we stuck the hook into in the first place to do the slip stitch. And I know that sounds confusing, but another way to find out what I'm talking about is if you pull on this white chain stitch, you can see that this stitch here, or this loop and this stitch, are being pulled. So you want to put your hook into both the loop and the stitch. So if you remember doing the slip stitch, we had stuck our hook into the stitch as well as the loop that was on there. So you just got, it's a little backtracking, but this will make a nice clean triple crochet stitch. So from this point, we're going to yarn over and you're going to pull through all of the yellow loops like that. So now you have 4 loops on your hook. We're going to yarn over again and you're going to pull through 2 loops. Then we're going to yarn over again and you're going to pull through 2 loops. And then you're going to yarn over again and pull through those 2 loops. So I don't know if you noticed, but we did that 1, 2, 3 times, and that's why they call it a triple crochet stitch. Okay, so from here we have to chain 1. So yarn over and pull through the loop. Then we have to make, so these are making petals, and we're going to make another one. So we basically have to do, let me show you how to do 2 more triple crochet stitches. So yarn over twice, 1, 2. All right, we're going to do a triple crochet cluster. So let me show you how to do that. It's going to get a little crazy, but we're going to repeat this at least 3 times. So I already showed you how to do a triple stitch. This is pretty much the same kinda. So put your hook into the next stitch. We're going to yarn over and you're going to pull up a loop. Yarn over and pull through 2 loops. And we're going to yarn over and you're going to pull through those 2 loops. All right. So now what we're going to do is yarn over 2 times again. 1, 2. We're going to stick our hook back into the same stitch that we just used. So into the next stitch, the same stitch we just used, we're going to yarn over and pull up a loop. So now you have like 5 loops on here. Yarn over and pull through those 2 loops. Yarn over and pull through those 2 loops. And then we're going to yarn over and you're going to pull through all 3 loops. And that's a triple cluster. So you can kind of see the petals forming. All right, so now we're going to do another chain stitch. Okay. And then we're pretty much going to do this all the way around. So let's go and do that. I'll show you how to do the triple crochet cluster again. Yarn over twice, go into the next stitch. We're going to yarn over and you're going to pull up a loop. So now you have 4 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over and pull through another 2. Then you're going to yarn over twice again, and you're going to stick your hook into the same stitch we just used. Yarn over and pull through the loop, so you have 5 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over and pull through all 3. Okay, so we're getting the gist of it. Let me show you how to do one more. So chain 1, yarn over twice, stick your hook into the next stitch. We're going to yarn over, you're going to pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and then you're going to yarn over 2 times. We're going to stick our hook into that same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Alright, so I've pretty much shown you how to do these clusters at least 3 times. So basically you just got to do this all the way around. So we are going to go do that in silence. But before we do the slip stitch, we're probably going to, yeah, I'm going to show you how to change to the purple. Alright, so I pulled out this loop again because we're going to transition to the purple. So I'm going to show you again how to cast on with a slip knot. So I would take my ring, pinky, and thumb and hold the end. Index and middle finger, hold the other end. We're going to take our hook, lie it perpendicular to the yarn. We're going to go down, out, and around. To create this loop around the hook, you can slide it up and down the yarn here. So I'm going to want to slide it down towards my thumb and then take my middle finger and place it where it crosses so that I can let go of my left hand and gather up some feeder yarn. Then I'm going to re-pinch the end here, and you're going to slide the hook close to your thumb again and pinch it right where it crosses so that you can no longer slide your hook up and down. I'm going to yarn over and we're going to pull through the loop. Then I'm going to overhand my hook. I'm going to re-pinch my end and I'm going to push this knot towards my thumb. So this is going to eliminate the amount of waste that you have with your yarn. Push until it either hits your thumb or until the knot is too tight for you to push any longer. Then I'm going to take my middle finger and thumb and just pull that excess piece a little bit more to make that knot nice and snug. Then we're going to slide it up towards the hook and then slip it off the hook altogether. Set this aside. Grab your project again. Slip your hook through that large loop and then tighten it up with pulling the feeder yarn. So now we're going to do a slip stitch. I'm going to put this piece in the back here. So I did my last chain and we're going to do a slip stitch. You want to stick your hook in this, it says to put it on the, or does it not? It says to put it the chain 3, but I don't want to do that. I think it'll be easier putting it because we're supposed to have 12. In reality, it would be in this one. So if you look at every single one, it has it right on top of the petal, and this is right on top of the petal. If we put it down here, we're going to have an extra stitch. So I'm going to put it here. And I'm going to do a slip stitch, yarn over and pull through all loops off your hook. And then I'm just going to replace this stitch marker. Oh! I didn't use the purple. Alright, take it back. You're probably like, you didn't use the purple. Alright, took it back. Stick your hook into that stitch though. We're going to hold back the white. Pick up the purple. Slip it on your hook. Gather some feeder yarn. And then we're just going to pull this through the loop. All the loops. Okay. And then we're not coming back to white, so I'm going to do the same thing we did with yellow. I'm going to cut about 1 inch or so. And I'm going to tie it around the purple. Double knot, but not too tight. Just enough to secure the knot so that you don't lose any of the stitches. Okay, and then we're going to continue on here. Oh, let me turn the page. And it's a little crazy because this is curling in a bit. So I don't know if I just made my stitches too loose, but it should be flat. Anyway, with the purple, we're going to chain 3. Okay, and then we're going to be doing again the triple crochet stitch. And so, same thing as we did before with the last round, you want to put your hook in the same stitch here. All right. Okay, so then we're going to do some chains. And then we're going to do another bank of triple crochet stitches. But it wants us to create a corner. For real? Oh, I don't like these instructions. So if you look at the illustration, all right, nope, we're just going to do what it says in the same stitch, I guess. Oh, I did a double instead of a triple. Okay. Then we're going to do then we have to do this same number of triple crochet stitches in the chain spaces. So this is a chain space. Wherever we did that chain one is where we're going to do it. Okay. Then we see we have asterisks and parentheses. So let's talk about that a little bit. Asterisks kind of indicate that we're going to repeat a section however number of times the instructions tell you. And then in parentheses, it's a set of instructions, and they're telling you that you have to do all of that within the parenthesis, in this case, in the next space. And then there's another set of instructions, but this can be very overwhelming because it's so much going on and it's really hard to focus on everything all at once. So just to know that between whatever's in between those asterisks, we're going to repeat it however number of times the instruction tells you to. But then let's just focus first on the first part, which is the parentheses. So they're saying that in the next space, which would be here, we're going to be doing whatever's in that parenthesis. So we know how to do the triple crochet stitch, and we know how to do the chains. So let's just go ahead and do that in this space. Oops, I keep doing doubles and not triples. I'm not a huge fan of triples just because it's such a tall stitch, as you can see here, that the gaps in between the stitches, it's kind of flimsy. It's a tall stitch. And if this is supposed to be for a bag, I don't like that it's too holy. I think maybe if they did a double crochet stitch, that would have been all right. Half double crochet, even better. But I think they're just trying to get you to make the size, to get to the size as quickly as possible. Because this is the tallest stitch, at least that I know of, that you can do in the world of crocheting. I mean, yeah, it's great if you're trying to get length quickly, but not if you're trying to make it like a not so holy project, because this is pretty holy. All right, so we did that parenthesis. Now we are going to move on to the next section, and we have triple crochet stitches into the next spaces. So let's do that now. All right, so we completed everything in that asterisk. So now all we have to do is finish off this round by repeating this whole asterisk section the number of times that the instruction tells you to. So, and then after we're done, we're going to do a slip stitch. So, I'm going to pretty much do this part in silence since we already have an idea of how to do it. So I got all the way around, and in this case now it's telling you to do the slip stitch on top of the third chain that we originally did, and I would agree with that now because this cluster is supposed to have 3 triple crochet stitches, and right now if I did it the way I did last time I would only have 2, but that was okay back then because I had the one stitch over the petal. So now I have to have 3 individual triple crochet stitches. We're gonna put it on the top of the third chain, or the 3 chains that we did. So you can do it a number of ways. You could put it in any of the loops. I like to put it in the under both braids as if it was a normal stitch and not a chain. I don't know why, just because it holds the stitch better with 2 loops. So just pretend that chain is an actual stitch like this one, where you can put your hook underneath 2 loops. And yeah, so to do a slip stitch, we just yarn over and slip through all the stitches off, or loops off the hook. Okay, so that flattened out. Feel better about that. This we could have removed a long time ago. We're not doing amigurumi, so I don't think we need this anymore. Plus, I think we only have 1 more round to do. So let's get into this. All right, for this round 5, we are going to be doing a chain 1. So do that now. Actually, yes, I do want to put this. I need this. Put this under the slip stitch that we made. It'll help me keep track of my stitch count. Okay, so we're going to be doing single crochet stitches now. Have we done those yet? No, we haven't. Or have we? Can't remember. Hold on, let me check. Okay, yes we have. So I don't have to show you how to do that again. So we're going to do a single crochet stitch in the next stitch. So that would be this one. That's the first part. Then it says we're going to do a single crochet stitches in each stitch to the corner. Okay, so this stitch is made up of 2 chains. So let's do 1 single crochet stitch. You can do it 1 or 2 ways. You can slip it under the 2 loops for that chain, like I did before, doing the slip stitch here, or you can go around the whole thing. I like to go around because it makes a nice little look to it. So I'm going to do 1 single crochet stitch at the corner and then read ahead to see what it's going to ask me. Oh, I hate these instructions. Are you kidding me? All right. This doesn't make any sense. So, all right. I'm gonna guess that this next part, there's only 1 stitch that was to the corner. So that's why I thought I needed to do more than 1. Or was there more than 1? 1, 2. I guess there was this one. Ugh, I hate these instructions. Okay. All right, so there's 2 single crochet stitches before this chain space. And so in this chain space now, we're going to be working that parentheses. So in this parenthesis, let's work our alternating single crochet stitches with chain stitches. So we'll do that now. And again, I'm just going to stick my hook in the actual corner. And then I wanted to show you, it kind of makes it, you know, it wraps around the whole thing. So I think it makes it look a little cute. I don't know. All right. So now we have another set of asterisks, and we know that means that we're going to repeat those asterisks a number of times. So let's break it down. It's pretty much telling you to do single crochet stitches in every stitch until we get to the next corner. And then we're going to have that parenthesis, which is similar to the one that we just did in the corner space here. So we're pretty much just doing single crochet stitches all the way across till we get to this corner. So one way to make sure that your stitch count is the same as the previous row is to just pre-count how many triple crochet stitches we have here. Okay, so once you get that, you can just make sure you do the same number on top. All right. Okay, and now we get to do that parenthesis, so let's do that. Oh, wait, let me just check. Okay, then we're going to do a parenthesis. Okay, so we've pretty much finished that asterisk, and now we're going to repeat it the number of times that it tells us to in the instruction. We're going to be doing a slip stitch at the end, and then I'm going to come back in and show you how to fasten off, but I'm going to be doing the rest in silence. Alright, so I went all the way around and now I have to do a slip stitch. So, we know that the single crochet stitches have to match the triple crochet stitches down below. So that's going to actually help you know where to do your slip stitch. So we have our corner piece here, and then we have our triple crochet stitches here. So I'm not going to put the slip stitch on the chain. I'm going to put it at the first single crochet stitch that we did for this round. And again, slip stitch, you just yarn over and pull through everything off your hook. And then this square is done. So what you want to do, it doesn't really tell you how, but I'm just going to cut an inch or so. We don't need it any more than that. So we're just going to do this. I want to show you how to fasten off. So we're going to yarn over and we're going to pull this through the loop, but all the way out. And then we're going to pull on this to tighten up that loop, making it a knot. And we have our first square. So now what I'm going to do the other 4 squares off camera. So you can rewind this video as many times as you need until you can do these on your own. But when I come back, we are going to make the handle. And then we're going to be putting these together. Okay, so I have my 5 squares and it wants you to do the handle. Okay, the bad part about that is this is how much purple I have left. And it looks like they want you to put the squares together with the purple. This just came to me with on the fly. Comment below, let me know if you have not so much purple after doing all these squares, because I'm thinking, why would it be so bad if I use the white to put all of this together? I think it wouldn't. So plus it'll break it up. Like, I like to see the geometry on this. If we did the purple, the granny squares will get lost in the color. So I think white will break it up. So what you can do is stick with the purple if you'd like. I'm gonna move forward with the white. I don't know if it's enough, but then again, I don't even know if this is enough to also do the handle. So I am going to, but either way, I recommend you put the squares together, and then I'm going to show you how to build the handle into this, so you're not tying pieces at the end. You know, it's going to be a nice clean crocheted handle. Okay, so let me go here and see how they're putting this together. I think it's just single crochet stitches, but they want you to work through the back loop, and that's how they differentiate the squares. The problem I have with this, so this is a pouch. I already don't like that we're using treble crochet stitches because it's very holey. So don't put any pens in here, you're gonna lose it. You could line it with some linen, but that's extra work that I'm not about to do. So it's already not flimsy, but it's holey. Then if you use the back stitches, which is just one side of the loop on the braid, it's just a weak stitch. I prefer to have both loops, especially when joining pieces together, because that's going to be a strong hold. And if this is a pouch, you want that strong hold. If you didn't do that and you're a loose stitcher, you're going to see it pull like this when you put, like, let's say a notebook or you know, I don't know, a phone. These phones these days are like really big. I know, because my phone recording right now is huge. So you don't want something to look like this. It's just unsightly. So what I'm going to do, we're going to use both of these, and using the white is going to split up the squares, so we don't need that border. I understand why they do that, because then when you do the one side, the back loops, you get this nice line of the front loop. So I get it, but I don't want to do that. You can do that if you want. You can follow the instructions. I'm going to do it this way because we're running out of yarn, and I just want this to be a little bit sturdier than they have it. So let's get straight into this. It's going to be the same. We're going to cast on with the slip knot. So you're going to want to take your ring, pinky, and thumb and hold one end, index and middle and hold the other. Take your hook and we're going to lie it perpendicular to the yarn. Then we're going to go down, out, and around to create this loop around the hook. You can slide your hook up and down. Slide it down towards your thumb, and where it crosses, take your middle finger and just hold it so that we can let go of the left, gather up some feeder yarn, and then re-pinch the end to get further down to the end. We're trying to save as much yarn as possible, and every centimeter counts. So slide the hook down to the thumb, pinch it where it crosses so you can no longer slide it up and down. We're going to yarn over, and you're going to pull through the loop, overhand your hook, and then we're going to hold this end here and push this knot towards your thumb, minimizing that waste. So here we have it. You can pull the tail after that just to make that knot a little more snug, and then we're going to put this closer to the hook. Now, let me just see real quick how the configuration is. It's right there, I'm blind. Okay, so we have squares like this. We're pretty much going to do this. All right, it's like this, and we're going to have one at the end. You can't see, but let's work with this right now. So let's go by piece. Let's do this first. And they want you to do it the wrong side out. So let's put the pretty sides together. And if you can, I'm going to hide these little pieces by crocheting into them. So I'm going to just bunch these together on the same side. It really doesn't matter, but just to get it all in one go. So we have the good sides facing inward, the bad side facing out. I've got my white yarn, and you can do the purple, but let's get into this. Okay, so we are going to single crochet these pieces together, and we're going to go stitch for stitch. So you want to take your hook into that. We have that 2 space corner, the 2 chains that we did. Just, I guess, stick it into the that whole shebang. You don't need to force your way into the chain. Just put it right under it. Okay. Then we're going to do the same thing on the other square, right under it. And then we're going to yarn over, pull up a loop. So we have 2 loops on the hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through those 2 loops. So we have our first single crochet stitch. Then we're going to go into the next stitch over, just under the chain, then into the next square, next stitch, just under the chain. And again, I'm using both loops. This is going to be a very secure joint. But yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Okay. Oh, why do they have that? Oh, all right. Do me a favor, you guys. Take this out and gently pull this. Keep pulling. Keep pulling until the whole thing comes out. And then you're left with this little guy. You can put your hook back in here. Because I changed it up, we don't have to worry so much about the wrong side. Let's do the pretty side, because we're not going to see the single crochet stitch, and that's going to be a loss. So, sorry, put the wrong side. If you're doing it my way, put the wrong side together. Okay. wrong sides together, pretty sides on the outside. We're going to do our single crochet stitch so we can see that beautiful stitch. And again, put your needle, put your hook into the corner spaces, the 2 chain space. Just put it all in there. Oh, I went through one of them. Hold on. Okay. Go into those corners, and then we're going to do our single crochet stitch. So yarn over, pull up a loop. You have 2 loops, yarn over, pull through those 2 loops. Then into the next stitch and into the next stitch on the other square, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So we're just going to keep doing this down the line. Just keep putting your hook underneath both of those, each stitch on both squares, and keep doing your single crochet stitches. I'm going to show you what to do when you get to the little excess pieces that we had when we finished off the square. We're going to crochet into it so that they pretty much hide inside the stitch. So we are actually next to one piece here. So we're going to crochet into that into the next stitch. So do this one here, and then let me show you how to hide it. So into the next stitch, put your hook into this square, and put your hook into the stitch of the other square, and you want to lay this straight across the edge. Okay, because we're going to yarn over and pull through all of that stuff. Complete our single crochet stitch. So it's gonna live inside the stitch. You want to make sure that it's over your hook. So into the next stitch, into the next stitch, you want to lay it on top of your hook so that it gets stitched inside our single crochet stitches. See? And that way when we get on this side, see, it's kind of gone. So we're going to do that. And that's why we did the good, pretty side facing out. See, when we open it like this, all you see is this line, and that's not as pretty as seeing this pretty line. Okay, let's continue. Stick your hook into the next stitch, into the next stitch, lay your, oh, and I missed it on this. That's okay, I'll just go this way. Lay your excess piece on top of the hook, and we're going to complete our single crochet stitch. And again, right on top. So I think you kind of get the gist of it. And we're going to work through this together so that you don't like get confused with I was going to say sewing, crocheting these squares together. Right, as this excess piece is ending, we have that new one coming up right here. So we're going to crochet into that as well. I'm really hoping that this white stretches a good amount of ways before I run out, because otherwise I am just going to end up using my own white, which is a thicker gauge. So you're going to be able to see the difference, which I hope I don't have to do. But it's bright stripes, and I do experience them not giving enough material. So again, comment below whenever you run out, because I just want to know if it's just me. Okay. Okay, let me see here. I think we might be good for I guess the next corner, put the excess piece over the hook. All right. So we're going to go straight across because we're doing the 4 together. So I'm going to do that first. So here we're going to want to align these excess pieces on the same side like we did before. And we're going to put the pretty side facing out if you're doing it my way. If you're doing it their way, do the wrong side facing out. But I'm going to stick the hook into that 2 chain space corner, 2 chain space corner on the other one as well. We're going to put this excess piece right over on the top. Okay, then we're going to do our single crochet stitch. Then we're just going to continue on to this new pair of squares. Did I just put that in the corner? I did. Oh. I can't see. I have such old eyes. Okay. I want to make sure I'm putting in the right spot. Okay, then I'm in my next corner. So we're gonna do a hard stop here because one, I'm running out of white and I really want to sew the other joining side. Two, I want to make an edging around the edge after, so. Alright, so we're gonna cut this about 1 inch or so, like we do finishing off the square. Yarn over and pull through the loop all the way out, tighten it up, and then we're just going to cast on. I think I've done this a bunch of times now to where you guys can do it on your own, or you can rewind it back. Okay. And you see what I'm saying with how we did this? Look how nice the edge is. Even if you look at one side, you look on the other, it's the same. You looked on top, it's a braid. I just like it. Okay, so this side now we're gonna do, put your hook into that 2 chain space corner, 2 chain space corner, and then start your single crochet stitches. Okay, and then this one might be a little difficult to see because I'm having a difficulty seeing it. Stick your hook into the corner, that corner 2 chain space on both, and then we're going to crochet that together, and then we're going to hit the other corner on the next pair of squares here, and we're gonna single crochet that together, and then we're gonna go about the stitches like we normally do. You saw that, right? Both squares now. We have Dextra here. Ah, I keep wanting to do it without the other square. Fine. All right, and then now we're at the other corner. All right. Ooh, see? I like it. And this is how much white I have left. Not that much. So, I have my own white here, and I'm just gonna use that. But yeah, it wants you to do edging. So it's like, how were you supposed to do that? I mean, then again, I use the white. Is there more purple here? Maybe, but then I won't have enough for the handle. Okay, so let me see. So my question is, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm actually gonna fasten this off, so cut about an inch or yeah, cut about an inch or so. If you still have white, keep it. If you don't, I don't know, use another color. I mean, that's the unfortunate thing. Bright stripes, in my experience, doesn't give you enough material. But if we're doing like this and we have to attach the 5th one right here, I just want to see how this is put together. So let's flip this. If this is 1, they want 2 to be like this, 4 to be like that. I am getting it now. Okay, it's gonna be something like this. Well, let me try using this for this. Again, I don't know if it's enough, but see, the gauges are so different. This is bigger. This is a 4. This has to be a 3 or a 2. So it's just gonna look so different. And like I said, very unfortunate because they don't give you enough. So comment below. Please let me know if you're in the same boat. Again, I know I am using purple, but I need it for the handle, and I don't have enough purple for the handle. Alright, so let me undo this because the person that requested this could not figure out this part, I think. So you have your 4 squares put together, 1, 2, 3, 4. You want to fold in 2 and 3. so that the corners meet. Then you want to fold in 4 so that the corner meets those two, and then 5 is going to be laid out like this. So let me put this here. So again, I'm gonna crochet here first, like we did with the 4 squares. This way, cut it. This way, cut it. Hopefully I have enough. I'll tell you right now, I don't have enough. But because I would rather have the thicker gauge on the edge. You know, that way it looks somewhat similar here. And then the edging could be its own thing, but then it'll be okay because it's an edge. It's a separate section. So all right, so let's do our single crochet stitches. I'm going to stick this at the corner, do your single crochet stitch. Oh man, all right, I'm going to do this. Sorry, I forgot, I gotta hide this piece. We're going to do the same thing we did with the purple ones, just this one's white. So corner, corner, lay your excess piece if you have it there on top. And we're going to crochet all of this together. All right, and then stitch and stitch. Lay the excess on top and single crochet. I think my camera is more to the left today. All right, next stitch, excess over the hook, single crochet, and so on and so forth. What I could do also is come up here, come down here, so that the thick edging could be at least on this upper portion and not the one line. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. Uh-oh. Running out. Okay, I might not even make it. Oh, why is this so far off? Oh, it's just stretched. Okay. Then we're going to meet the corner. Man, I don't think I'm gonna make it. Do I have white anywhere? you don't. Okay, like I said, I'm just gonna go up this triangle and down this triangle, hopefully trying to keep it looking kind of normal. So hook in the corner, hook in the corner, stitch and stitch. Okay, so if you're in my boat and you are running out of yarn, whatever color you end up using, I'm going to show you how to continue. It's pretty easy. All you have to do is just take the new yarn and we're going to put the ends together and just tie it together. Okay, and then we have to figure out now just how to hide it in your project. So then hopefully it won't be too noticeable. But I'm gonna lay from that other corner. I have this white and purple left. I gotta try to lay it down so that I can hide these two in the meanwhile. So it's a lot of moving parts. You know, you want to make sure you get the edging, you want to make sure you want to hide it. You can just tuck it back in the bag, but I think it'll be a lot better if you can just hide it in the stitch, because when you open the bag, you're going to see it, you know. And because this is a mesh crocheted item, it's going to poke through one of these holes, especially when you start filling the bag. So this knot, it's really going to be tough to hide. I can try sticking this inside the bag. So the knot, I'm trying to get into the bag, but not come out the other side. And then that just came out the other side. Well, it is what it is. But moving on. And you can even feel this thicker yarn, you can feel it. I think this is the corner. All right. So that is that. Now I just got to figure out a way to hide this. So let's cast off, cut about 1 inch or so. It's even tougher to cut compared to the other one. And we're going to fasten this off. I could try weaving it in these stitches. or tuck it inside the bag. I'm going to see how this looks first. It's not terrible. Okay. All right, so we have this sewn, and you can't really, I mean you can, but you can't really tell that this is a thicker gauge. I kind of can see it right here, of course, because this is so, the color is also lighter than it is here. But we're gonna move on and sew this 5th square. And the good part about this, I want to start at this end because we're going to go down here, back up, we're going to go around one end, and then we're going to go around the other end of the rectangle. So it's going to be one continuous thing, meaning which means there's one less knot you have to worry about, but also uninterrupted crocheting. So I try to like figure out ways to make my life easier. And actually I'm a righty, so let's start on this side. Well, I'm not a righty, but this video is for righties, so. Alright, corner, corner, then do our single crochet stitch, and then I'm going to show you the fun part of crocheting the handle into this. And I believe we don't have any more excess pieces to deal with, so that's also good. It's one less thing to worry about. And after I finish this edging, I'm actually gonna have to go make my dinner. I'm getting really hungry. I wish I had so much filming to do later. I do have nails, so I do crafts and nails. And I had to wait to get off of work though, so however long this video is a little shorter than it actually took. Actually a lot shorter because I didn't show the other squares. But after I do this, I gotta do the nail stuff. So if you're interested, I should probably link my other channel into the home page, so I'll do that. You know, I only promoted it for a while because I was doing a giveaway that I thought you guys could benefit from, but seems like there's only one person on the craft side, because I'm picking 2 winners, a craft winner and a nail winner, and seems like there's only one crafty person in the running, so I gotta double check, but not much of a like a giveaway contest for them, which is always good. If this is my pilot channel, because I just post the same video on both channels, I think when we get to, I don't know, 500, maybe I'll do a giveaway. But comment below if that's something you're interested in. Or maybe I'll do 1,000, I don't know, because the one that I'm doing right now is very big, So I'm gonna have to restock my inventory. All right, corner. Let's do the other corner. I think if, I mean, I like this raised edge with the single crochet stitch. I think if you personally find it a bit much, you can always do the slip stitch. So in my, my theory, oh, we have an excess piece here. My theory is the measurements of crochet stitches. So the basic stitch is the chain. The chain and the slip stitch I find to be similar in height. The next stitch up would be the single crochet stitch, and I feel like that's double the chain. And then when you do the half double crochet stitch, I feel that is double a single crochet stitch. And then, of course, the double crochet stitch is half. Wait, am I saying this right? Yeah, I think I am. So the chain stitch is half. The chain stitch and the slip stitch are half of a single crochet stitch. The single crochet stitch is half of a half double crochet stitch. And the half double crochet stitch is obviously half of a double crochet stitch. And then, treble crochet stitches are just different. It's just not half, not double a double, if that makes any sense. Oh, well, I probably just confused all of you. But yeah, so if you didn't want the height of the single crochet stitch for the edging, I would recommend doing a slip stitch. Long story short, maybe I should have just started with that. I think I did. All right. Okay, then we have a corner, corner. All right. So now that we've done this, look at that huge hole. That's the corner. We're gonna go around the edges of the square now. So let's actually do this one. And we're just going to go stitch for stitch doing the single crochet stitch, starting with the corner. And then we're just going to do our stitches. I'm loving the white edge. Yeah, I think if I did the purple, no way I would have enough for a handle. Not even close. But I am going to use what's left of the purple, so I'm really hoping that it's going to be enough. Now, I took a glance at how they want you to do the handle, which seems great if you have enough purple, but I don't. So I'm going to do it completely different. So if you really want to do it the instructional booklet way, by all means do it that way. But I'm going to do it a different way. So again, these videos are mostly to just teach you the stitches, because usually that's where you have the problem. Like, how do you start it if you don't even know how to start it, right? So I normally do that. And then I will help with assembly, but I'm always trying to figure out better ways to put things together. And I did this bag previously for a Target kit. And very similar, just a lot bigger. And I can't say if I followed those instructions either, but putting the squares together, you know, I just figured out my own way. Now for this corner, I'm going to do 2 single crochet stitches, of course, because we have 2 chains in this corner, and we're going stitch for stitch. So I did 2 single crochet stitches just now in that corner, and then I'm going to go back around to this side of the square. But yeah, so after trial and error, I feel that doing it this way is better. And it's a lot easier, actually, because, again, this one is smaller. You should really go onto Target and check out that crocheted bag. I don't remember the name exactly, but when you see it, you'll see it. And if and there is a video out for it, just comment below if you can't find it. Wow, I'm not sure how long this video is already. I'm really hoping that it's not longer than 2 hours. We'll see. Okay, so right now we're dealing with a corner. And we're going to go through another corner on the other square. And we're going to deal with another corner. And then we're going to get straight into the stitches. Oh, now that I'm thinking about this, like, after I do my handle, because I have my own white yarn, I think I'm going to have to do a border around the handle, because it's going to, everything here is outlined with the white. So I think I just gave myself extra work, because I have to do a border around the handle. Oh well. Okay, and at the corner again, I'm going to be doing 2 single crochet stitches because we have 2 chain spaces in this corner. And then we're going to go back down to these stitches on this side. And we're almost done. And I really hope that this is under 2 hours. Otherwise, I'm going to post it and it's going to be over 2 hours. And I hope it doesn't take forever to post. Because we can't just have a part 1 and then just do a part 2 for the handle. What a waste, right? So we're going to try to get all of this done in one video. So we're going to do the corner, and then that's going to be the end of it. Let me do a slip stitch to connect all of this. So I'm just going to go, I don't know, let's go into here. I don't know what's a good spot. Maybe here. Okay. And I'm going to do my slip stitch. And then we're going to cast off. Cut about an inch or so. Yarn over. Pull through the loop all the way out. Pull this end. And then like I did before, we're just going to weave this in and out of the edging. Alright, so we have our bag. Let's do the handle. And look, it kind of works out. You can see that this is thicker, but it's like emphasizing this square, which I think is really cute. And then you have the rest. And then you have the rest. And then on this side, I don't know, kind of emphasis on this. And then the edging just kind of blends in the background there. All right, so let's take our purple now. Let's hope that we have enough to finish this. So again, we're going to do a cast on with the slip knot. And as you do more of these, it's going to be a lot faster and a little different in technique, but the concept is still the same. Pull this towards your hook, and let's do this. So the original instructions have you do chains, and you're basically building it separate, and you're gonna go row for row, and it doesn't tell you how long it is. It's just how long you want it to be. And that could be a bad idea, because if you don't have enough yarn, you're gonna run out of it, and then you're not gonna have enough to finish your handle and tie it to the corners. Here I'm going to build it on the corner, and I'm going to make this let's do maybe 3 okay, maybe 4 single crochet stitches across, and however long I can make it is how long it's gonna be. It's not ideal, but that's the situation I'm in. Or actually, let's make it 2. I'm gonna make it 2 because I have to have a border on each side, because I did this whole thing and it'll only look better with a border. So you want it to be symmetrical. If our corner has 2 single crochet stitches, that is your middle 2. And I think it'd be nice to have about this thick of a handle going up, so I can have 2 single crochet stitches in purple, and then the borders will be 1 single one of white on each side. So if you can envision that, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So take your purple, and like we did with the edges, put your hook into that corner, one of the corner stitches. If you're righty, to the one to the right. If you're lefty, the one to the left. Right, do your single crochet stitch, and then go into the next corner stitch here, and then we're going to do another single crochet stitch. Now this might be a pain, but this is actually what we have to do. In fact, actually, since they have us using treble clef, why don't we just treble clef? I keep saying treble clef like I'm in the band. Treble crochet, we're going to just do treble crochet. So let's turn it over, and we're going to do chain 1. we're going to go into that first stitch here. We're going to do a single crochet stitch. So off the cuff, I'm doing this my own way. Okay, and then in the next stitch, put in your hook, doing a single crochet stitch. All right, so now turn, and now we're gonna do, no, I don't want to do a treble clef. This might be a nightmare though. Oof, having to go back and forth. Yeah, never mind, single crochet stitches back and forth. So I turned it again, chain 1 to make the height, and then we're going to go into that first stitch, do a single crochet stitch, then into the next stitch, do a single crochet stitch, and then turn, chain 1, single crochet stitch, into the first stitch, single crochet stitch, into the next stitch, single crochet stitch, turn again. All right, so you see what's happening here? We're just making 2-stitch thick handle, and it seems very flimsy right now, but imagine having edging on each side. It's going to become thicker, and it's definitely going to get stronger. So let me continue this, you guys. If you're doing this my way, I appreciate that. Thank you so much for trusting me. I'm going to continue doing this off camera because I don't know how long this video is already. But I'm going to continue doing this same thing of back and forth. Chain 1 and 2 single crochet stitches and turn. And I'm going to keep doing that till either 1, it's the length I want it to be, or 2, if I run out of purple and I have to finish it off. So I'm going to pop back in before I finish it off so I can show you how to finish it off and connect it to the other side as well. Imagine this is all I had. But luckily I have more. All right, so let me do this rest off camera. Just rewind this section if you need to be more comfortable with chaining 1, 2 single crochet stitches, and turn. And I can share that because I just made this all up. Off the cuff.
All right, so I actually did a decent amount of handle. I'm happy with it. This is a fairly, I mean, it's a very surprisingly large bag for the stuff they give you in the size box they give you, I feel. But so when you get to the point where you're like, I don't want to do any more handles, this is what we're gonna do. All right, and I'm realizing that I ended where, as a righty, yeah, we can do it. Here, we'll just do one more round. All right, so what you want to do is, let me just do this one real quick. Oh wait, I already did a chain space. Okay, I'm going to show you where you have to be with your handle. All right, so we sewn it on this side. When you do your handle, it goes over, your shoulder or whatever, but you want to lay it on the other side in a way that your handle is flat. Okay, so just make sure that your handle is flat. What we're going to do now, and I have this little bit left, but we're only doing one more row. So you're going to chain 1. You want your, once you lay it this way, you want the right sides facing the right sides here. You want to chain 1. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to crochet into the corner spaces. So you have your corner here, and we have our 2 single crochet stitches. So I'm gonna go in from the back. I think that's where I should start. So what we're going to do is, actually, whoops, I forgot. Stick your hook into the first chain stitch here. I'm not chain, first stitch here. And then stick your hook into the, to the right, if we're looking at the back, the right stitch on the corner, because there's two of them. And then we're going to continue with our single crochet stitch. All right, and then we're going to do another one. So stick your hook into the next stitch over, and then stick your hook into the next corner stitch and do your last remaining single crochet stitch. And then we're going to fasten off by yarning over and pulling through the loop. We're going to tighten this up. And so now we have our connected handles. Isn't that great? So now all we have to do is the border. Like I said, we're going to make this handle a little thicker, which is going to be good. It's going to secure the handle to the bag. It's going to give it a little bit more thickness, like I said. So it's going to match the design that I changed it to. And if you still have purple, I mean, God bless you. But you can still do this with the purple and add that nice extra pizzazz of edging on the handle. Okay, so we have this chunk here, right? So we also have to tuck that in anyway. So what we're gonna do, let's start at the stitch just outside of this handle. So you have your two corner single crochet stitches. We're going to go to this one right here, and we're going to do a single crochet stitch. All right, and then row for row, we're just going to force our hook into each row. Try to get at least 2 loops. You don't have to go too crazy because you still want to leave a nice amount of purple on your handle. Just grab any 2 loops and just go down the handle with it, doing your single crochet stitches, and that's going to be it, really. So I'm going to do one end with you guys, and then you can continue on with the other side, as I will with the off camera, and then we'll come back in and we'll compare notes. Show the end product, I mean. Lay your excess piece on top of the hook, like we did with the previous excess pieces. Okay, and again, row for row, at least 2 loops. So that's why I don't like the back loop, that's just 1. 2 loops I think is best. So even when you're in a situation like this that not necessarily has a stitch ready for you to just grab, we're just gonna take each row and find 2 loops to put our hook into. And as you see, our handle is growing. Comment below, let me know what you think of this bag. Have you made this yet, or are you interested in getting it? Again, I would recommend going to your 5 below and finding this kit. I haven't searched for this kit on the website, so I'm not too sure if it's on there. But if you know how to do granny squares, you can imagine the endless designs you can do. And then there's colorful yarn, multicolored yarn that can create pretty organic patterns for you. So you could just do that, you know, same instructions, different type of yarn. I honestly wish we had their yarn still, because I think the gauge for this one is a little too thick for my handle. See, and then we're gonna do the other side, so like I'm saying, it's just it's a little too thick of a border in my opinion, but I don't know, it still looks all right. Guess I should have maybe done slip stitches instead. Oh, anyway. Last one. All right, so I'm going to go into the next stitch from that corner stitch here. Do my single crochet. And then I'm going to fasten this off, so cut about 1 inch or so. Then yarn over, pull through the loop, pull it tight. And then I can just weave this in and out of the edging. All right, so we have one side down, and it's so thick that it's like curling. Anyway, off camera, I'm going to do the other side. It's the same thing that we did with this side, but look at this, you guys. This is what we can do when you have experience. I'm not saying this is perfect, but it looks pretty stinking good for a $5 kit, you know? At least I think it was 5. It could have been 4, it could have been 6, because I've seen some items at Five Below that were more than $5, which doesn't make any sense to me. But anyway, off camera, I'm going to do the other side. We're going to pop back in, and we're just going to check out the end result. All right, I am done. Yay. It took a minute. So here is my handle. It's actually more structurally sound than the blocks. Like, it seems like the edging is pretty good. And then you get these like flimsy blocks that's pretty holy. But I guess I won't be putting any pens or pencils in here. But check out my handle. Okay. I'm just straightening it out while I'm showing it to you. But look at the other side, nice and seamless. And here's the inside. Again, you can always take like a liner. Take, you know, a piece of rectangle linen or silk or satin, not silk, what am I saying, satin, and then fold it in half. Hello. Fold it in half, sew the sides, and then you can sew the edging. You can cut the edge to be like the same as the bag, and then sew the edging together, and you have a nice little solid bag. You don't have to worry about stuff falling out. That's what I wanted to do with the Target bag, but I had no time. I was intending on giving it to my sister. I gave it to her, and I told her she's just gonna have to line it. But anyway,
super ultra cute bag. Comment below, let me know what you think. I love that we did this. It just seems a little bit more detailed than it would have with this guy. So side by side, let me know what you think. So guys, we are moving on. I'm going to give a little sneak peek, even though I did an unboxing. If you missed that, check that out. But I'm going to show you what we've got going on next. So for the next videos, we are doing the Grinch and Max from the Grinch. Yeah, so I'm going to do these. I'm going to slip in some other things in there, but these were requests. And then we're going to get into some Nightmare Before Christmas. I do have requests for the itty bitty knit kits, the winter ones. So I am going to slip those in, one here or there, because I really need to get the Grinch out. And I have two different kinds of Nightmare Before Christmas. I have 2 characters from Five Below, and I have 2 remaining characters from the Disney booklet that I did last year. If this is the pilot channel, there's only a few videos on here, so I don't have those on there. But if this is my original channel, I have all the videos on there, so go check that out. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. This is Isms by Josie. Please share, like, and subscribe for future videos, and I'll see you again next time. Thanks. Bye.